But tell me, where did it start from? Where did this whole mission to empower in this ways? Because you've had this for decades. You didn't invent it now because it's become popular.
I got born again as a teenager. Became a pastor at the age of 21. I've been in ministry now 35 years. As a matter of fact, I don't know when this will air, but October 31st and November 1st, 2024, I'll be celebrating 35 years in ministry with a 2 days global pastors and ministers conference. So whenever this air, that tells you when. So I'll be doing 35 years in ministry then. And what had happened is because of the foundation we have, I got born again on campus in what we call the SU Christian Union move. So all we knew was Bible, quiet time, prayer, fasting, holiness. That's all we knew and that's all we did. So I grew up with that and there's nothing wrong in that. So because of the fact that I started early, everything about my life was moving fine. And then in 1997, I got married and I had a wake-up call. You know, I say to people, sometimes they think these things are funny, but it's my life. See, I tell people that if you are not married, maybe poverty can be excused because your responsibility is not much, but don't try to be poor as a married man because there's no romance without finance. You need money to fund the responsibilities of marriage. So when I got married, I say to a lot of people, as Christians, when you are someone that grew up in the environment I grew up in, Christian Union, holiness, there is this naivety that you have where you think that everybody's like you. Everybody's good. So you just have that trust. Especially when you see people in church, we're all Christian. Everybody. So that's the. So when I was getting married, I knew who I was. I believed my future was great. And I look, this is who I am. This church, we're just 200 members. Come and see the church. This is my church. I've written some books. I have 200 people. My future is great, but this is where I am. And I said, no, it's not about money. No, money doesn't matter. I love you for who you are. So I fell for that trap. Only to enter marriage. Take responsibility for this. This is what I have. You two find something, join. I need to get and that was where I began to see that this money thing. Then we got pregnant. And as if the pregnancy was growing, my depression was growing. The pregnancy with my depression, so I was like, this is not. But so at a point, I now had to turn that anger and, back to God. Say, God, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't womanize, I've never done anything. I know I'm a Christian. For real, even God knows. So why will I be facing this? And I don't lie, I don't cheat. So I am honest, I do. So why will I be facing this thing? What's wrong with this money thing? Why? That I cannot take care of this responsibility. And at that point, that's when I cried out to God. I said, God, and for every time I cried out to him, I kept hearing, who told you, who told you, who told you? Because all the scriptures I was throwing out to him, he was saying, who told you that that's the interpretation of that scripture? So I'm like, hello. So for the first time in my life, this was 1997, I realized that many of the scriptures I held on to and lived by were based on what somebody said, bishop said, papa said, reverend said, pastor said, my church said. I've never really had time to sit down and have a personal encounter and revelation with many of those dimensions of scripture. And then God said, if you really want to be prosperous my way, then let me take you through the journey. So that began 8 months of an encounter with God. For 8 months, it took me from Genesis to Revelation, and religion died. And that's why I say with boldness that Christianity is not a religion. Religion is more dangerous than the devil. Religion has ruined many lives. Churches have ruined many lives. Pastors have ruined many lives. But God has never ruined any life. But what has happened is that people judge God based on their experience with pastors, churches, and religion. Christianity is not a religion, it's a relation with your Creator. It was then that God made me to understand from Scripture what the kingdom is all about. And by that encounter, took me through all that. By the time we entered into the later part of 1998, when I was at the end of that journey, I became a new person. So a lot of things about religion dropped. Even the church itself, if you listen to my message, 94, 95, 96, 97, then you listen to my message from 1998, there was a shift. I just shifted into kingdom. I dropped anything religion. I said, look, let me just do kingdom way. And that's it. So when I got that encounter, the change took place on the inside. And when the change took place on the inside, God told me what to do. And I began to do it. And in 3 years, I saw a change. So in 2001, it was now a mandate, go teach my people how to create wealth and be my ambassadors in the marketplace. So I now began to teach what I have experienced. And that's how we got to where we are.
Wow.